Zombies!
So, hello everybody.
Yeah, so if you're just joining us right now, we're talking with Matt and Chris from Ragtag Studio. They are joining us to talk about their game, Raise the Dead.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
Greenlight Show Day.
Yes.
So
Yes,
Chris is the sultry voice, and Matt is the cheery voice. And I'm Landon from Big Sushi Hut.
Yeah, sorry you
Thanks for
couldn't
hanging out with us, Landon.
join us
Really
in the...
appreciate it.
Yeah, so you guys showed this off for the first time at PAX East.
Yes, we did. Well, that was the first sort of publicly playable version of the game. But yes, that was very exciting for us. We were part of the Indie Mega Booth, and yeah, we had a really great reception there. It was really exciting.
For those that haven't seen it at PAX East or on any videos or YouTube streams yet, would you mind telling everybody about what the game's about? Who's on the screen right now?
Go for it, Matt.
Yeah, so this character here is Ray. He's who you'll be playing throughout the game. And he has recently been resurrected from the dead. And as you can see right now, he's a bit confused and not sure what the heck's going on. As I think that most people would be if they were resurrected as a zombie. So he's got this crazy light bulb sticking out of his head. And he's sort of stumbling around right now, just kind of trying to get his bearings. So yeah, the basics of the game is you're going to be walking around, you're going to be traversing the world, trying to find out who you were in life, why you've gotten killed, and to do that, you're going to be using your zombie powers of resurrecting the recently deceased and adding them to your little army group, and using that group to solve puzzles and do different kinds of tasks.
So what was your what was everybody's inspiration to make Raise the Dead? Then what's your background to get to this point?
So a big influence for Raise the Dead is a game called Stubbs the Zombie. Matt and I both worked at a company called Wide Load, and that's a company that made Stubbs the Zombie. That's a game I got to work on for a while. That's a game I'm super proud of. It was really, especially for its time, really pretty ahead of its time, way ahead of the zombie curve. And it had a lot of really awesome gameplay ideas, a lot of which we thought were kind of underutilized and that we're going to great lengths to emphasize in this game. So it's certainly not a sequel. It's not, we're not even really calling it a spiritual successor, but if any of you are familiar with Stubbs the Zombie, then hopefully this will be right up your alley.
So what were some of those mechanics, Chris?
I'd say the most prominent one was, so in Stubbs you were able to kill humans and convert them into zombies, and they could help you out to some degree. You could push them and they'd kind of run forward and do some random stuff, but you didn't have a whole lot of precision control over what they do. You also couldn't amass very many of them. So it's basically that concept that we wanted to put into our game and really make it kind of the standout feature. So we want to let the player build a much larger group of zombies, have a lot more control over them. So yeah, that's the main aspect of Stubbs that we are pushing forward, I guess.
You took some inspiration from Pikmin as well in terms of like the zombie management. Absolutely,
yeah. The control scheme of Pikmin is something that all of us we're big fans of. We all love playing Pikmin. We feel like it's how to say it? It's a lot more accessible. I think it's really unusual, but the fact that you have this avatar that you get to control while controlling your army is really attractive to us. We wanted to make sure that the player had this character that could, a very versatile character, and directly control everything, all the action that's going on. So yeah, we borrow heavily the Pikmin control scheme in our game.
And the setting, it has some nostalgic influences as well, right? The time, place, and everything.
Yeah. So one thing that we're really trying hard to put into the game, well, the game takes place in the 1980s, and while we're going to have a lot of references to that era, I guess, through pop culture references, we really want to imbue the entire game with a sort of feeling of real time and place. And I think we've done that with the demo levels that we have. I mean, the amount of texture and atmosphere that is going on. I think people really respond to that, and they definitely get.
Dog.
Oh God!
Woof, woof, woof.
He's
You're
excited
Courtney
about
in the background.
He's excited about us being on the internet.
For a moment, I thought that was the ghost dog, but it's not.
No, it wasn't the ghost
It
dog.
was not the ghost
That
dog.
was a real dog, Calvin.
That was real. That was a real dog.
Someone just asked. This is a good question. Do you wanna talk a little bit about why you dropped your Kickstarter?
It's a complicated question. There's a number of issues, a number of reasons why we decided to cancel it early. We tried to line up the timing of a lot of different announcements to coincide with our Kickstarter, and a lot of that didn't work out the way we had hoped. For example, the announcement of the PlayStation 4 version of the game, I don't know if any of you heard about that, but
I think they noticed the PlayStation controller as the.
right, yeah, right.
If
Yeah.
anybody was watching E3, you guys were on stage, which is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Really exciting.
Yeah, that was really, really awesome opportunity for us. So the original plan was to announce the PlayStation 4 version during the Kickstarter campaign, but we weren't able to get the timing of that to work out. So that was one reason. There's a number of reasons, some of which I can't really get into just yet. But we ultimately think that we intend to launch again later when we can be a lot more transparent about all of our platforms and everything. And we think that as a result, we'll have a much better campaign where we can get everybody everything they want. There's been a lot of people. We weren't able to fully explain all of the different platforms we want to go for. A lot of people are asking for mobile versions, Wii U. None of that was clear yet.
Well, a lot of things are in flux right now with console being what they are. Like, it's unknown if you'll be able to be on Xbox One because Microsoft has been so behind all the times.
Yeah, that's definitely just to be honest, the least likely of all the platforms. We are now certified Nintendo developers, so bringing the game to the Wii U is a very real possibility. But these are we basically needed to let some more time pass so we can iron all these things out.
And regardless of the Kickstarter, you guys, Ray's not going away. You guys are still working on it. It's just not a full-time thing right now. You just have to bide your time and do it a different way now.
Well, no, we are definitely working on it full-time.
Okay, great.
There's only 3 of us working on this game. We do have a small army of contractors that we're going to get to help us out. It's definitely not going away. We have a number of different options for funding, but our preference is to go the Kickstarter route. So we are going to try that again. Just as I said, we want to make sure that we have the most options and transparency available when we do run it. So our first time running a Kickstarter, we learned a lot, and we're going to do it much better if and when we do it again. We do hope to do it again. We just need to move forward with the project a bit more before trying again, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, that's
I think one thing that we always want to clarify. It seems like there's a lot of confusion after E3 and we canceled the Kickstarter that we didn't get a sack of cash from Sony, so we are still. We're not going to be exclusive just to the PlayStation platform. It's definitely going to be on PC, and like Chris said, as many platforms as we can get it on.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, that's kind of how we feel too. It's like whatever we can get our game onto, it's just, of course, we want everybody to play our game. I can't imagine you guys don't feel that way.
No, definitely, but at the same time, we can't overcommit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because obviously each platform brings with it its own challenges and development time and costs and everything. So we just, we wanted to diversify a bit. So Steam is obviously the sort of proven platform, but it's also tough to get onto, which is why we're all here today.
Yeah.
But it has a great fan base. So if you can get on there, you're in really good shape. But we also wanted to try a not so crowded platform, but one with a lot of potential for success. So that's why one of the reasons we chose to support the PlayStation 4. Plus, just the guys at Sony have been really awesome, really enthusiastic about our game. And yeah, so we actually hope that being on both platforms will help make both versions that much better, you know. And some people are asking, this is being played right now with a controller, but we will absolutely be supporting mouse and keyboard. The game already works with mouse and keyboard. We just, because we were demoing the game at E3, we had to put PlayStation 4 controller support in it, of course. So that's why you're seeing that on screen. So.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So we haven't talked too much specifically about the game, like other than the fact that you're Ray, you're controlling the zombies with this massive light bulb in your head. You're amassing this zombie army and then like just taking on certain obstacles. Name some of the other gameplay mechanics that you're going to be engaging in. We've seen one zombie type so far.
Yeah, so actually what you're seeing right now is it's a bit of a stealth section, just to let everybody know what's going on in this level. This is actually Halloween, and you saw a bunch of trick-or-treaters earlier. And when you first enter the level, everyone assumes that you're trick-or-treaters. So the goal of the level is to not attack anybody and not raise alarm. So we snuck through past all the trick-or-treaters, avoiding temptation to eat all of them. Then there was a bit of a police dog part. Yeah. Then there's a Then there's a police dog section where the dogs in this game are actually smarter than the humans, and they're ready to sniff you out. So you had to sort of keep your distance from them. And then in this section, we've seen that you can actually stick your zombies in certain ambush type objects, and then when people walk by, they get pulled in, converted into a zombie, and then you can pull them back out. So that allows you to convert people without causing a big commotion. You can kind of do it on the fly. We've got a little bit of Metal Gear Solid in here, I guess. So.
It's my favorite game ever.
Yeah.
So the ring that emanates from his light bulb that kind of like brings the zombies back in, and then you can shoot the light out to tell your zombies to go to that area. So because people aren't seeing the controller and what's happening, you use the trigger to like send out individual zombies one at a time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I apologize. I'm bad at this part.
It's a little tricky.
Yeah, so you can. What we're seeing here is that you're actually going to be introduced to your second zombie type. So this is the dog you've been following up to this point in the level, and he's going to ask you to help him with a situation that's going on here. And this is basically the tutorial that teaches you how to switch between two different zombie types and use them effectively. So you now have access to a dog zombie, which what he does is he's very fast, so he can you send him at the enemy first, he slams into him and stuns him, and then you can follow up with the rest of your zombies to take him out.
Now I have an important question here. Why is the cat bad?
Yeah, well,
because I hate cats. No.
Yes.
No, that's it. You're off the show.
Well, specifically because this is actually a pop culture reference, and that's one of the things about the game is our references aren't always going to be so in your face. This is a Pet Sematary. So from the movie Pet Sematary, there is an evil cat that is terrorizing the people, and that is what we have here is a demon cat that is terrorizing Cujo, the dog, and he needs help.
I see.
You did great, Calvin. Good job.
I did.
Yes.
I'm actually impressed with myself there. That was better than I've done in the tests.
Yeah, that's right. The cat's name is Church.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Huh.
Yeah.
So
sorry.
So now that you've helped out, this is sort of Cujo. He's now given you the ability to resurrect dog zombies. So from here on out, you can anytime you encounter a police dog, you can take out the police dog, convert them into a dog zombie, and also if you find any dogs that had already been buried, you'll see the red glow emanating, and you can resurrect them from the grave as a dog zombie. So, and then what we're entering now is sort of the culmination of everything we've taught you up to this point. We basically let you fight. So Calvin's now gonna encounter some very dangerous guys with guns, and he'll have to effectively use the two zombie types to get through the level. It's pretty tough though, so we'll see how he does.
So the general strategy at this point now with the two different types of zombies, you want to send out your dogs to do some quick attacks and stun, and then send in your zombies as reinforcements, right?
Exactly, yeah. So that's how Calvin's working it so far. If you were to just send a zombie directly at the cop, he would be one-shot killed. You can do that to some degree. It's not super strict, like this is exactly what you must do to get through the game. We obviously want to let the player have some creativity there, but being smart about and efficient about how you use your zombies is definitely the way to do really well, I'd say.
And there's not a never-ending supply of people, so you can only get so many zombies at a time.
Right.
Definitely, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So one aspect of the game that I wanted to get around to, because we're getting low on time, is the fact that there's actually going to be sort of two stories in Raise the Dead that you're going to be playing, which is an aspect of the game that we haven't been talking about as much, and it's something we're really excited about. So the idea is that as Ray plays through, or as he transitions through the world, he's going to be learning more about himself and who he was, and he's going to have memories, and those memories you're actually going to get to play through, and so you're going to actually be able to play as Ray when he was alive. So one of the first scenes you're going to be able to play is when you reach the town and it's Halloween. Ray is going to remember back to his childhood, and you're going to be able to see Ray and his friends and some of the things that happen that move him along in his story towards the very end of his life. So each memory is going to be moving him along in your understanding of him, basically till the culmination of where he dies. So,
And why he's so influential.
yes, so it's a lot of really exciting secrets that we
He's
have.
Thomas Edison, right?
Yeah, not quite.
Yeah, that's actually a huge part of the game that we're going to do our best to kind of keep under wraps as much as possible. Although at the same time, it's a super compelling part of the game that we want to talk about. But we want to save a lot of surprises for, when people actually get to play the game themselves.
It's got an amazing amount of charm.
Surprises are
The
good.
design is amazing. And Matt, you're the artist on it, right?
Well, Chris and I are both artists on it. I do. We kind of say that I'm the art director, but we all make the decisions on a lot of different aspects of the game. But in general, I do a lot of the overall look of the game, sort of, and then we work together, Chris and I, to finish all or flesh everything out.
And you're a
That's
three-man
being
team.
modest.
Sean is your other third.
Right. Sean is our programmer, and he is in Texas.
Oh, that's why.
Yep, and all three of us have been, just to give a little bit of history, we've all been making games for around 13 or 14 years in the games industry. So we all left our jobs. I mean, it's a very common story these days, but we left our jobs a couple of years ago to start Ragtag Studio, and this is our first full-time effort as a studio. So we've been working on it for about a year now. We're hoping to release, hoping on first quarter of next year, but we definitely have our work cut out for us.
Yeah, it's really hard to estimate, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we want to make an amazing game, and there's a lot of important things that we want to make sure are just right. And so, as everybody knows, to make the game that you want to make and to make it really good, you might have to blow that big deadline in the sky. So.
Yeah.
Well, aside from the different environments and the different zombie types, you're also planning on having kind of boss fights and different types of gameplay mechanics. Are you able to tease any more than that?
That's up to you, Matt.
Well, I don't. We don't have anything specific to really talk about. I think at this
confirmation
moment.
of those things, more zombies, bosses.
So I think one of the things that I kind of want to point out that I'm kind of excited about is that you'll notice. So Ray has found his dog character. That's basically our take on Cujo, and he's going to be a part of Ray's history. And I think what's going to happen is you're going to be running into different friends that Ray used to have in his life, and they're going to have different they're going to take on different roles to help Ray along. And we've taken a lot of inspiration from 80s horror film. So I think that's one of the big things that I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah, and we definitely have, just to answer your question about boss fights, we have some boss fights already prototyped. They're already pretty fun and cool and crazy. We're not going to have, tons of them, but we definitely want the ones we do have to be real standout, memorable experiences. So, dead.
He got dead.
You're doing very well, though.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing better than I have done playing it on my own, so I'm
Yeah.
pretty happy about that.
Just the moral support from everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're actually...
Coming up on
Yeah,
1 minute left. Where
Just-
can everybody go?
Yeah, sorry, let me
Yeah.
this really quick. If anyone wants to see a little bit of a spoiler or one of the elements of the game that we haven't really talked about too much, on our Twitch channel, a few weeks ago I did a live stream of painting a concept piece for the game, and people can check that out.
Cool.
It's a full, 4 hours. You can kind of fast forward and see how it is. Anyways, I thought it's kind of interesting.
It
Yeah,
gives some
that's
hints as to the backstory of Ray, I think.
Yep.
That's fair to say, yeah.
Your Twitch is Ragtag Studio?
Yep. Yeah. Twitch. Our Twitter handle is also at Ragtag Studio. We're on Facebook. All that good stuff. We're not hard to find. We're not hiding or anything. So.
Yeah, no, hiding would be silly. We want to be seen.
Right. Yeah. So thanks everybody. As has been said a lot today, your support. If you want to see these games on Steam, your support really counts for a lot.
It's hugely important to us as developers to be on there. I can't really state that enough, really.
Yep. Right.
Indeed.
And we're doing everything we can to make this game as good as it can be. It's an unusual game, so it's a bit difficult to get across exactly what it is. But please take my word for it that by the time it's done, it'll really be something special that you won't regret giving us a thumbs up for.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Awesome,
I see tons
yeah.
of potential from the demo. It's totally a great concept.
Cool. Thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you.
I wanted to say thanks to Alex and Kevin for putting this event on.
Yeah, thanks for co-hosting, Landon.
Oh yeah,
And-
absolutely.
And your voice is like butter.
Yeah, everybody check out Big Sushi FM if you haven't already. Landon and John do a lot of really great stuff. So
It's one of the best gaming websites. News.
I'm blushing.
Yeah, it's amazing. The work they do.
check them out before they blow up huge. You can say you knew them first.
Yes, exactly.
The same back at Ragtag Studio. They're going to blow up too.
Thanks.
Next is Castaway Paradise, I believe.
All right. We'll take off. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much
guys.
for coming,
Thanks
you
for
guys.
coming by.
Have a great day, and thanks for stopping by and watching.
Awesome.
Thank you for coming by, guys. Stay and hang out in the chat.